Hey, everybody. Good evening and welcome to GNA TV and the Chelsea Ladies Show with myself, Lambs. Sophia is running a little bit late. She may not join us, but that is remains to be seen. But even so, we are, of course, joined today by our lovely panelists, including a very special guest, and we shall get to that. But first and foremost, guys, smash that like button, share the stream, tell your mum, tell your dad, your sister, the friends, their cousins, and everybody else. So, boom, everybody's in. Let's start the introductions. First of all, let's introduce our amazing panelist. You know her as Miss Posh, but we know her as our amazing, lovable Beth, everybody!
Hi, I don't like how it's catching on.
You know what? If Jem has to have an OnlyFans account, then you have to have a Posh account. You have to have a Posh account, Beth. It's only fair. Fair. We released the beast, so, you know. Amazing. How are you doing today? How's your week?
It's been good. I've been a bit stressed because I've been doing my second week in my uni course. I'm just trying to process it at the moment because it's new. Hopefully we'll get there. But it's been good.
Honestly, Beth, let me give you some advice. I broke down a million times during my undergraduate degree, but I managed to get it. So if I can do it, you 100% can.
Just have to wait and see.
You got this, girl.
Thank you.
Now, let's introduce our favorite Chelsea fan. She doesn't need a glass of wine to have a rant, but she'll have one anyway. It's our favorite Charlotte, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome, Charlotte. How are you? How are you doing? How's your week? How's everything? How do you feel about Chelsea? Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, if we get started on Chelsea, this is going to be a long... How long have you got on Chelsea right now? Because I have a lot to say.
We've got the whole show. We've got the whole... How are you, first of all?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I mean, it's bloody freezing. I'm not going to lie. I didn't sign up to live in the Antarctic. Didn't sign up for that. If we could have summer, I'm ready for summer now. I'm not feeling this weather anymore. Really not, like... Just not at all. How I'm feeling about Chelsea. I'm just thinking of a positive word. Hudson-Odoi, positive. Rudiger, positive. Kepa was actually quite positive in the game. Everything else was absolutely shite. Ziyech, shite. Pulisic, shite. Ziyech, doesn't deserve a starting 11 until he's earned his place. Pulisic, see you later. I'm done with you. Can we sell him now? I'm ready for him to go. I'm done with these reoccurring injuries. I know, Beth, what you're thinking. I know, it's Pulisic. We've just had him. But do I want a player that's been out of injury 20 times when he's only 22 in his career due to recurring injury? No, not really. Do I want a player when he comes back from injury to actually turn up like Hudson-Odoi did from his worst injury? And Hudson-Odoi's injury was worse than Pulisic's. Hudson-Odoi actually turned up. Even when Lampard, everyone wasn't playing for Lampard, he still turned up. Do I want a player to actually turn up after an injury? Absolutely. Has Pulisic? No. Does Ziyech... Like, Ziyech looked like that he was the opposite magnet. And they were like, trying to go together and it's just repelling like a big bang. Like, he did not want to go near that ball. Kepa, that man made 2 mistakes out in a whole game. I'm going to give him credit. It's the only time I'm going to give him credit.
As well, didn't it?
Like, clean sheet, well done to Kepa. Rudiger, bloody epic save. Abraham's save on the goal line was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Everyone else. 2
contributions that as well.
the goal and do you know what? Abraham didn't have a bad game for me. Personally, for me, my man of the match was Rudiger. Rudiger actually turned up. Like, I'm not a Rudiger fan, but the man actually turned up in the game. However, apart from Rudiger, Kepa, Hudson-Odoi, and Abraham, everyone else was just shite. Kovacic. Kovacic's coming on. Oh, beautiful. Kante looked a bit Kante just looks exhausted, like dreary. He doesn't look like he's happy, or he looks content playing like he used to. I mean, Gilmore. No, actually, I take that back. There was 5 players. Gilmore. Add Gilmore to my favourites.
Yeah.
He had an overall average great performance. Ziyech, I was doing a live stream for this. I had to ask if Pulisic was actually on the pitch. I forgot Pulisic was on the pitch. I genuinely forgot until I actually saw him on the pitch. Because tell me, what contribution did he give? 0. Ziyech, what contribution did he get? 0.
Charles, because let's get the rest of our panelists and our guests on as well. I think we can break this down in detail, because it's why we love Charles, because she's started already
right today.
She holds no punches.
Mate, I made a cocktail today.
Yeah, Charlotte, listen, look, even ads and Gem. Just they want us to get everybody on. Okay, our final panelist before we bring on our special guest. Yes, is the beautiful, wonderful, amazing Joyce.
Hello, everybody.
Joyce.
Yes,
I felt like I was.
We missed you last week.
I know. Uni has been stepping on my neck, and life has been very, very. Whew. But I'm here today. I'm here, and guess what I have, guys? Guess what I have?
Please tell me you're drinking. Yes.
Cheers,
guys. I'm ready.
Cheers.
I'm very ready to talk about this game.
And now that we have almost 20 of you guys in the stream, like the video, share the stream. And now let's introduce our beautiful, amazing special lady who's joining us on the panel today. You've probably seen her in Sarcasm City, You've seen her on the offside, presenting the offside rule on the First 11. And you've seen her beautiful, lovely face on the terrace as well. It's Yannicka, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Welcome.
my stream's a bit slow, I think.
Introduce yourself to everybody on JNA TV. Tell us what you do, what are the channels you feature on, and more importantly, who you support, for those who don't know.
Yeah, so you'll find me on Sarcasm City mainly. I have my own channel, Yan City ENT, but I don't do much on that right now. I've been on the terrace a few times. Just everywhere, really. You'll find me around. I've only been on GNA TV once before, and that was ages ago. So, yeah, it's good to be back on. And I support Man City. So, yeah.
Yeah, and this is why, guys, Yan looks so happy, because you know that's what happens when you support Manchester City. They don't give you much to be upset about. They really don't.
This is why Yan looks so young. She has a great team that doesn't age her. This is the problem I have.
Honestly,
no stress.
Arsenal fans, you might see a guy, right, who like looks 30, but really is actually 20. It's just the stress has aged him. And we do all understand that. Right, now that everybody's here and drinking and looking good, feeling good as well, let's get this show on the road. So, guys, we took a break from the Premier League this week and we turned our attention to FA Cup football. So, let's just get everybody's thoughts, opinions, roundup of the FA Cup games. And then just to sum up, we'll just quickly kind of go through who do you guys think out of the remaining teams still left in are the favourites to win. Who do you think the dark horses of the competition could be? And yeah, who do you personally think will win and why? Let's start with our special guest, Yannicka. Take it away.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
So let's go through some of the FA Cup games. So obviously there was Everton and Spurs. There was City and Swansea, Chelsea and Barnsley, which was a bit boring. Bournemouth and Burnley. I missed Southampton and Wolves, and I'm missing one more, United and West Ham. So just quick, your thoughts. Any of those games stand out to you? Why? Who do you think are the favourites? Although I think I know what you may say. And possible dark horses. Yeah, just give us your opinions, Yannicka.
Yeah, I think Wolves have been a little bit in poor form recently. I know they beat Arsenal, but there was like 2 men that were sent off. But I think they've looked a little bit poor, so I'm not really surprised that Southampton beat them. Man United didn't play particularly well against West Ham, but West Ham I don't even think had a shot, so they didn't really turn up for that game too much. So yeah, I'm not surprised Man United went through. Chelsea, I was a bit surprised that you struggled a little bit against Barnsley, but Man City probably had one of our toughest games against Cheltenham. So it just says it all. These teams, it's their time to shine, when they're playing a Chelsea or a Man City. So you kind of do get these. That's why people call it the magic of the FA Cup, because you do get these good performances from the lower league teams. So yeah, so that was quite good. But obviously Chelsea were always going to go through. City, I think solid performance against Swansea. I do like Swansea. I think they play good football, and we saw that against City. But yeah, City have too much. They had too strong a squad going forward to kind of lose that game. So we saw that. I think, is that all the games? That might be all the games. But Everton.
The 9-goal thriller.
Yeah. You know what? I'm quite surprised that Everton came out on top, because normally games like that, it would be Spurs that I'd expect to win. So when Harry Kane, I think, leveled up 4-4, was like, yeah, Spurs are going to win this. So I was actually surprised. I know Ancelotti's a good manager, and Everton have been doing really well this season. But yeah, talking about Everton, I actually think they might be the dark horses. Like, obviously, I don't want them to be, because they play us next. But I do think I could see Everton kind of, before the season started, I did say that I thought Everton would win the FA Cup. I just had a feeling. Hopefully not, because that means they have to beat us. But yeah, I feel like they could be the dark horses though. If they do beat City, they could well go on and win it. As long as it's not Man United, I'm not as bothered. But yeah, I think I don't know. City, they put out a strong team every time they play, but I have heard that there's Champions League football that week. So I do think if City have to put out one good squad, it's going to be for the Champions League, not to play Everton. So we could go out, who knows? But yeah, that's who I think. City should realistically win it based on our current form, but we don't do as well in the FA Cup as we do in the Carabao Cup. So yeah, we'll have to see. But Chelsea have a good chance as well, because your record in the FA Cup is good. So, yeah.
Interesting. Do you know what? I actually do kind of agree with your point about Everton possibly being the dark horses. And I think if they do manage to get past you guys, then we probably should start taking them seriously. Next, Beth, your thoughts. How did you find some of the FA Cup games? What did you think? And yeah, pretty much the same question to you and to Yannicka. I said to Yannicka as well. Who do you think the favourites are in your opinion? Who are the dark horses? And then who do you think will win?
Right. I think that there wasn't really any surprises. I didn't expect Tottenham to beat Everton, so I wasn't really that surprised by that result. I think everyone that won their games were the ones that kind of should have won their games. I think the Man United and West Ham game was like the most boring thing on like TV this whole week. It was like such a waste of time, and I was so annoyed when it got to extra time and they scored like 7 minutes into the extra time. So I was like, I've just sat through all of this and we don't even get to get penalties. It's just a waste of my life. But then followed by the 9-goal thriller at Goodison. That was really good. I was getting so frustrated. I was like shouting at the TV every time Everton let their lead go. I was like, stupid. When Dominic Calvert-Lewin came off like injured as well, I was screaming because I had plans to triple captain him for his double game week this week. And I was like, fuming. Anyway, I'm surprised we struggled so much against Barnsley, but I'm also kind of not surprised. We had 10 changes in the team, and Barnsley really showed up for it. So, like Yannicka said, it's the smaller teams will turn up for the FA Cup because anything can happen, and there's that atmosphere, and it's the biggest game of their season, really, isn't it? When they get a big team. So it is what it is, and I think Man City are going to win the whole thing. I've just got this feeling that Man City are going to go do another treble this year, and there's nothing we can do to stop them. 15 games unbeaten. I mean, not unbeaten. 15 wins. In a row.
Even unbeaten.
What is that superpower magic? I don't understand. They're superhuman.
If we went on 15 wins in a row, oh my god, we would actually be breakdancing on these streams. We'd just
exactly. I'll be honest. Out of United, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, you hate Man City the least as Chelsea fans, don't you? So if someone's gonna have to do that, hang on to the others.
Let them win the league, let them win the champ. I'd rather them win everything else, because if United even think that they can I'm actually off social media, because the next season until somebody else wins it will be unbearable. Unbearable. Oh my goodness.
For sure.
Charles, over to you. Actually, wait. Let's leave Charles for last, because I know she's got what to say. Joyce, FA Cup roundup. Your favourites and dark horses, and who do you think will win? So, what do you think of the game?
So, I didn't watch a lot of the FA Cup games this week just because I've had lots on. I was so annoyed because I thought the Everton and Spurs game was going to be really dry, because Spurs, I thought, they'll be really defensively solid and they won't really score many goals. Thought, Everton have been in okay form. They've not been, tearing teams apart. So it's just going to be kind of a cagey game. Open my phone, see 3-4, 4-4, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Quickly turn on BBC, all the stream, I think it was BT Sport, wherever it was. Okay, I've got to watch this game, and I was so gutted that I missed what was obviously such a good game. I'm glad Everton went through over Spurs, because it just keeps adding this thing, Spurs going this much longer without a trophy. It always puts a smile on my face. The United game was really, really crap. And United fans were complaining loads about Van der Beek, and I can see why, because he was just very stale. He was hiding. It was he was hiding from the ball a lot of the time. It just wasn't a good game to watch. I can see why, even though they complain about Bruno, they have to kind of play him all the time. What other games were there? Yeah, there was ours. I don't know if I should talk about ours now, or I should wait until because I got time for that one. But that was absolute snooze fest. I liked the City game just because I wanted to watch the Chelsea defender that we've got at Swansea. And he actually did all right. I know loads of people kept sharing that video of him literally chucking Sterling on the floor. But he actually performed really well, so that was nice to see. Man City are probably gonna win. But also, I kind of feel like Chelsea could win it by accident. We're not a bad team. We're in decent form. We're not conceding goals. And I feel like if we can get to once you get to the semi-finals, it's kind of anyone's game. So I'm kind of hopeful that we might grab a trophy. I think it's probably our best chance of winning any silverware this season, because the Champions League and the Premier League, City, that's yours. It's not really going to anyone else. But dark horse, I'd probably say Everton or Leicester. I think Leicester people they're just quietly good, just consistently for the past kind of couple of seasons. So I feel they're someone that we shouldn't count out as well.
Very, very, very good points that you're making there, Joyce, and I can't disagree with you. I almost forgot about Leicester as well, because I was just literally about Carlo Ancelotti and Everton.
That's our boy.
These are some very, very, very good points. I can't really disagree. Charles, let him have it.
Great. Sorry, honey, you've got to go now. Bye. See you later. So let's start. Man United, West Ham, dead. I was hoping it was going to go to penalties.
Reply to Indiana right now because of this comment.
Small club problems. At least it took us 90 minutes to beat them 3-0. It took you 120
90,
minutes.
yeah.
Sorry, my maths was a little slow there. Took you 120 minutes to get them 1-0. Don't even talk to me about small club problems. 3-0. That's 3 goals. And they was all scored before the 80th minute. So, yeah, Indiana, you take that. Okay, moving on to which ones are interesting. Oh, the City game was like Swansea gave you a good go in the first half. Like, good on them for putting up a fight and actually turning up instead of just like it being an absolute City annihilation, which I was worried about. But they got a goal and they deserved it, if I'm really honest. I know it was unlucky for like you guys because it was a little mistake on City's part, but I feel like the way they played, they at least deserved to take one thing away from you guys, even if it's just 1 goal. They deserve. You got 2 more back. Like, let's not worry. Yeah, not the best side. We have Champions League, only team in London with that. Thank you. Bye. Just to clarify, let's talk about the Everton game. Oh, I knew they was going to win. I mean, whoever thought that Bottleham were going to not bottle it? Come on, man. You know they're going to bottle it. You know when you see Spurs in a cup game that's for a cup, they're not going to do well. And do you know why? Everyone was like, but Mourinho's not attacking. Mourinho is a defensive manager. He plays from the defence forward. That's a fact. He does. Now, if you don't like that, that's tough. He's playing with a Spurs team that the only 2 good players are Son and Kane. And anyone else tells me otherwise is ridiculous. Like, Son and Kane are holding the team up on their shoulders. It's a struggle. You see why Kane gets injured every season. He's holding up a lot of team. I mean, they let in 5 goals. I was buzzing for Everton. My favourite part of the match, as I keep telling people, was Carlo Ancelotti. When Bernard got that 5th goal, he was just sat with his Bovril, not even phased that they'd got a goal. Man, that man is a legend. Like, literally, like, he's such a legend.
I wish he was my dad.
I want him to be my dad. Can he just be everyone's dad, please? Like, thank you. The Chelsea game. The Chelsea game. Where do I begin? Ziyech, shit. Pulisic, shit. Kante, not very good. Abraham, actually good. He got a goal and he made an incredible defensive save on the goal line. Praise to him for that one. Like, let's talk about it. Rudiger, man of the match. Like, the fact that Rudiger, the man that came on at like the 70th minute, is my man of the match is a little bit embarrassing for our team. Hudson-Odoi was great. Reece James was okay. Like, he wasn't his best. He wasn't his worst. Like,
gave the assist for the goal.
Yeah, that's true. Gilmore was great. Everyone else was just missing. Like, Ziyech and Pulisic just made me so angry. I got to the point at like the 60th minute, and I'm screaming. And I'm on the watch along. Like, when's he coming off? Can someone just take Ziyech off? Someone just take the man off. It was like the ball had a magnet in it. It was just repelling from his shoe.
With you, Shah, and I think you even mentioned this during the first half. So the first half hadn't even ended, and you were like,
"Yeah, I was already asking him to off." Do you know what the problem is? You know when people are going to have a good game by their first 5-10 minutes on the game. And Gilmore had a first good 5-10 minutes. So did Hudson-Odoi. So did Abraham. Ziyech, he just kept passing the ball to the other team. I was like, do you need to go to Specsavers? Do you need to get eyes tested? Do you not know what color team we are? Like, did you not sign up for this? Like, I'm just thinking all these things in my head. Like, maybe he's forgotten what colors we're wearing today. Maybe he's forgotten what his teammates look like. I don't know. I was like, does he need laser vision? I don't know. Like, it was so poor. Like, he was handing passes away like ridiculous amount. I was just like, and people are like, oh, but give him a chance. I'm like, I don't care. Like, if you're going to turn up. You've come back from an injury. Prove yourself. It's not Ziyech Nanda. Let me tell you that one. Hudson-Odoi had a worse injury than Ziyech, and Hudson-Odoi has turned up. Has he not? Yes or no? Yes. Has Ziyech turned up? No. Let's just talk about this though. Everyone from the Bundesliga that we've brought in, Werner, Havertz, and Ziyech, are all missing in action. Like literally, they are missing in action. It's like we've destroyed them as people. We've destroyed them as players. Like we have ripped their souls out and sold them to the devil. That is what I feel like has happened. Also, when people are like, I want Jadon Sancho. No, I don't. I don't want Jadon Sancho. I'm not going to be responsible for ripping his soul out and selling it to the devil. You think I want to ruin Jadon Sancho? No, I'm not going to be responsible. Also, here's an unpopular opinion. I think Billy Gilmore is better than Jorginho. I'm done.
I agree with you on the Gilmore stance, actually. And a lot of people disagree with me as well, but they will see what we all see, Charles. They will see when Tuchel plays Jorginho against Manchester City and we get absolutely dominated in midfield. Then they'll know. Everyone will finally know. So, talking of Tuchel, let's talk about his transformation. Tuchel's transformation of Chelsea. So, we're about 4 games in. What are your thoughts on his progress with Chelsea so far? Do you think he's changed the team for the better? Do you guys not really see any difference yet? Is it too early to tell? What are his current strengths that he's showing, current weaknesses that we can see? And what do you think he can bring to this Chelsea team? And as Chelsea fans and even rival fans, what can you expect for him to achieve at the club? Yannicka, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think you're unbeaten, if I might be mistaken, since he came in. So I think I was watching a game before he came in, one of Lampard's last games, and looked a little bit slow. You couldn't really see what the plan was. When he's come in, you look a lot better, especially going forward. There seems to be a plan. I know the game against Barnsley wasn't great, but it's an FA Cup game. But yeah, I think you've looked better. Looks like he's got a plan anyway. And he's kind of bringing some players in that probably deserved to start under Lampard and didn't. So yeah, I think it will only get better for you. And you seem to be climbing up the league. So you'll probably get top 4 now. Easily.
I mean, great points. And I do you know what? I feel like we are definitely still in the top 4 running. Like, if anything, I think we could probably maybe go for 2nd or 3rd, to be honest. We're not that far off United. Beth, let's go to you. What do you think? I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by this.
This comment's killing me.
That's so funny. Big up to Gem's OnlyFans account. Everyone go follow it on Twitter. Give it the support and the love that it deserves.
Yes, Beth. Also, can someone please create a posh Beth?
Guys, I'm not involved.
Can someone please create a posh Beth is posh fan account? We need this. Like, Beth is posh. We need a fan account. So if someone wants to do that, please do.
We're on here every Friday just to get
Tuchel's transformation thoughts.
Right, so I think we're still in a bit of the new manager bounce where the players are all trying their best. They're not quite settled. They want to play. Obviously, didn't really see that against Barnsley, but I think that was a whole mix of like playing a whole team that haven't really played together under him yet and aren't used to that formations and whatever. Because we had Emerson in a back 3, like. He didn't do bad, to be fair, but you just kind of knew from the start that it weren't going to be great. I think he'll do fine. I think he'll get a contract extension after his 18 months is up. I think he'll get whatever the club wants. He'll get a trophy, maybe if it's just like the Carabao Cup next season and the FA Cup this season or something. I think he'll finish in the top 4. Definitely next season. I'm still sceptical about this season. We'll see. And he'll get an extension, and then I feel like after that he'll probably end up getting sacked like every other manager. But yeah, I really enjoy watching the football under him. I think his in-game management is miles and miles ahead of like Lampard's. Like Lampard's subs were always so late and so off. But Tuchel, like at half time, he took Christensen off, I think, was just because of precaution.
No. He had a headache. He had a headache.
Oh,
Yeah,
boo-hoo.
In it, so did we all.
They took Alonso off because he found out that Alonso can't defend. Water is wet. And then
We
we
could
were
have told us that after West Brom, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah. It was slightly better in the second half. It wasn't ideal, but Barnsley really came out there fighting for their lives. I think the main problem with that game was Ziyech and Pulisic, and I think they affected the
I know these comments are wild, guys. You're moving all wild tonight. I don't know what you guys are drinking, but it's wild.
Probably the same shit I'm on.
What was I saying? Yeah, Pulisic and Ziyech, I think, were really bad that game. And I don't think that's the end of the world for us. I think both of them haven't been 100% this season, but both of them have shown what their quality is. And I do think they can both get there. I think more so with Pulisic than Ziyech, he's a bit of a liability because of his injuries. But I think it's too early to sort of give up on it. I think Ziyech is lacking match fitness. Charlotte, you're so funny when you don't agree with things. And I don't know. I think everyone's been a bit harsh on him. I think Tammy had a decent game. I think he was affected a lot by the two supporting him being absolute wank. Like, they were rubbish. They were awful, terrible. Like 0 out of 10. Terrible.
I don't think Cho was helped by that either. That's why I think when
Same.
Charlotte was out, he was good, but he's not great usually by his standards. It's because he had them two next to him doing absolutely fuck all.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't helping. They weren't doing like literally did nothing. So I think the other teams, part of the team suffered for it. But that is what it is. I think Tuchel will be absolutely fine this season. I do. I think he just needs to sort out the squad in general.
So what do you think his weaknesses are then? If you
I don't think it's too early to really tell, because I haven't really watched him in his other teams yet. Charlotte. But he doesn't know the players. He hasn't seen the players play, and I think it's still getting used to the team and what they can do, and trying to work out what their limits are and stuff like that. So I think I can't tell at the moment.
Amazing. Joyce, talk to us. Tuchel's transformation, strengths, weaknesses, and what do you think we as Chelsea fans and even other rival fans can expect him to bring to our club?
Well, I don't want to say that we are transformed just of yet. I feel like maybe I'm like a little bit more, I don't want to say skeptical, but I think I'm just like a bit less like, I don't know, like fully like bought in and excited just yet, just because I know that this is like a process and it's going to take a while before we maybe see the team that Tuchel wants us to be. I think we've become better we've looked better defensively, and we looked more solid. The only person that scored against us is ourselves in Rudiger. So, that's always a good sign. But then also the teams that we've played haven't been great. We haven't, I know I'm starting with the negatives, but the positives are coming, don't worry. We haven't looked too clinical, too great in front of goal. I think that's one problem. Like we've won penalties, and the only attackers that have scored. So Tammy, was it yesterday, the day before? Time doesn't make sense to me anymore. This pandemic has ruined me. But the other day when Tammy scored and then Mason Mount scoring against Sheffield, other than that, it's been kind of like defenders or Jorginho scoring penalties. So it's kind of, we're getting away with not being very great in front of goal. But I think that will come. I think it will come. I think, everyone, he's transformed us in the sense that our attacking patterns look better. In possession, I think we're being a bit more forward in our possession. So instead of just tapping it around in midfield, that was a lot more aimless. This feels more progressive. Jorginho is actually playing quite well. Kovacic, back in the fold. I think we really miss Kovacic. So we're okay. We're not amazing right now, but the building blocks are being built. So I'm excited for that. But I'm not super excited by the football that I'm seeing right now. Sheffield wasn't a good game to me. Yesterday or whenever it wasn't a good game to me either.
Yeah,
but we're getting away with it. Do you know what I mean?
It feels like it should have been a lot longer because boy, we want to forget about it so quickly.
Yeah,
it
but
was
like,
just last night.
it
Yeah.
was literally just yesterday. But I do think that like good football is coming. I think it will take time. I think Ziyech is a bloody disgrace. What I saw yesterday made me sick. Like, actually, I was disgusted. It's like he actually came to London to smoke shisha
Preach.
and do weed
Preach.
and just have vibes. Because what the hell was that? He
Preach.
turned over the ball so much every time he touched the ball. And then when he turns over the ball, he doesn't chase. He doesn't track back. He doesn't do anything. He just sits there like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. Like he did nothing. He couldn't dribble. He wasn't. None of his passes were coming off. Like it was one of the most disgraceful cameos I've seen in a really long time. It really pissed me off. Pulisic, man, Pulisic. That purple patch fooled everybody because he's actually spent more time being underwhelming at Chelsea than actually being great. And
Oh, is Joy frozen? Has Joyce frozen?
Yeah, she's frozen.
Okay. Joyce, are you back?
Are you back,
am I
John?
back? I don't know.
No,
You're back. I'm back.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds, yeah. But no, keep going, carry on.
Oh, I'm back. Okay, sorry. I'm just yesterday made me very annoyed. Pulisic is really disappointing, and he's been disappointing for a while. And like, because the thing is, like, we've seen him do good things. We saw him do good things under that like lockdown time, and it wasn't just him scoring like lucky goals. He was like driving at players. He was dribbling. He was creating chances. He was winning penalties. He was doing everything. But it's like, did he forget? Like, what is I don't know. Gilmore was pretty good. He was okay. I think he kind of struggled, but then I think a lot of the team struggled. Hudson-Odoi wasn't as effective, but he could have been better. It's just, but ultimately, I'm still hopeful because even though we haven't been great, we've got 10 out of 12 points in the league. We've progressed in the FA Cup, and we know that things can get better. So, yeah, Tuchel, I'm strapped in. Let's ride. Let's go.
Backed. Charlotte, let him have it.
Okay, Ziyech, bye. Pulisic, bye. I'll see you later. I'm done with you. Like Ziyech, man. Like he was just. It was like the ball. The ball was a magnet, and he was repelling it. Like he did not want to touch that ball. He did not want any part of that ball. He didn't want to be touching the ball. He didn't want to be passing to the right team. Him passing to the right team, that ain't happening. Everyone's like, oh, but he's had a bad game. And what? I don't care. Like, you've had a chance to start against Barnsley. You've had a chance to start against Barnsley and you haven't actually turned up. Am I bothered? No, not really. I'm not. Like, if you have a chance to start in 11, you turn up. You don't just not turn up. Pulisic is a joke. Like, he's more than a joke right now. The man has had a season and a half. He's had more time than Ziyech. Like, genuinely more time than Ziyech. And what has he actually done? He's had good spurts, but they've not actually lasted that long. He's had good moments, but they've not been long periods. And then he gets injured, and then he comes back, and then he's shit, and then we have to get ready, like, prepare him again, and then he becomes good, and then he's shit again. Like, I can't be dealing with a man who's been injured like 20 times in his career and he's only 22. Like, I'm sorry. See you later. Bye. I'll sell him. Like, I'm done. I don't want injury-prone players. Emerson was the shit. Whoever said he was good, now you're kidding yourself. He was shit. Shit with a capital S. Let's talk about it. Christensen.
You're being really hard on Ziyech. It is just like
Christensen. Man, in the first 20 minutes, I wanted Christensen off the pitch in a straitjacket in a padded cell. I didn't want him near me. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, he was tripping over people. Like, he was getting kicked in the back of the head. Like, why are you on the floor? You're not supposed to be on the floor. It's not rugby. Like, you're not supposed to tackle people. You're supposed to use your feet. Like, man was driving me insane. Rudiger, man, I love that man. I actually love Rudiger right now. Like, I don't like how he plays, but the man saved us yesterday. He genuinely saved us along with Abraham. Like, yeah, I mean, without Abraham and Rudiger, would we be in the same position we are right now? No. Would it have gone to extra time? Yes. So let's just all acknowledge that for a second. Billy Gilmore, man. Billy Gilmore. He was starting. Oh, he's beautiful, isn't he? Oh, he just plays great. Oh, I bloody love him. Absolutely. Like, yes. Hudson-Odoi was playing shit. Like, well, not playing shit. He just wasn't the Hudson-Odoi we know that, like, has the energy and the magic. He was still good. He was missing, he was missing decent players. That's right. Ziyech, Pulisic, he was missing decent players. My bad. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why people are giving Pulisic excuses. He's had a season and a half. It's not like he's like Ziyech, who's had like, I'm being lenient. This is me being lenient with Ziyech. Like,
just say, right, because despite everybody getting on to Kai Havertz and not turning up, he still scored a hat-trick against Barnsley. So this is a game that quality players do need to be turning up. And even though he wasn't at his full potential, my guy still scored 3 goals against Barnsley. Yeah. And Pulisic don't even turn up. So Charlotte, I think you're right, and you do have a point. And we do need to start thinking, because after the end of the season, we'd have had Pulisic for 2 seasons now, and it's not worth the money. You're right.
Exactly. We are not getting our money's worth from Pulisic. If you want to look at it as if we're buying him and we're going to make money, like, we are not getting our money's worth. I don't get how people like think I'm being horrible. We're not getting our money's worth. Have we got our money's worth this season? No. Did we get our money's worth last season? No. No, Beth, I don't even want to hear this Pulisic agenda. Let me tell you now.
I'm talking about Ziyech, man. It's his first, he's had a full season yet.
I just said I'm going to be lenient on Ziyech. He has got, this is what I'm saying. This is my point I'm making, is that Pulisic has a season and a half over, that he's got a whole season over Ziyech. So I'm being lenient on Ziyech right now. My aim is at Pulisic right now. The man has had a season and a half. Like, there's no excuse. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really not. I mean, I can't deal with that comment right now. But like, I don't understand what people want me to do. Everyone's like, oh, Pulisic is such a good player. Yeah, but this is a match that you should have been turning up for, that could have earned you a starting 11 place in the next match. I don't understand the concept of this. If that was me going in and I've been putting a starting 11 against Barnsley for the FA Cup, I'd see, this is my opportunity to get a starting 11 in the Premier League. This is my chance to prove to people what I'm capable of. Like, yeah, we know Ziyech is 27, but he still has, it's his first season. We'll give him liability. Even though I want him gone, he's still 27. Like, I don't know how I feel about Ziyech. I don't know. Like, is he going to improve? Like, is he just dead? Like, is it worth the money?
Would they, Jan?
Would Man City take him?
I don't think we need him, but
yeah.
All right, Jan. You don't need to like rub the wound in. Like, Jesus Christ.
They have Morris. What are they going to do with
Ziyech? So high, you can turn anything down.
Yeah, but I think the problem we have is that, like, we're not being like clinical. Like, look at the Sheffield game. Look at it. That Sheffield game pissed me off so much. I'm sat there like, when they're pressing, they're panic passing. They generally, Sheffield will pressing quite high and they're panic passing. And I'm pretty sure like everyone gave the ball away a few too many times. Like, if someone's pressing you, you have to think, I need to know where the ball needs to go and pass it, not shit, there's players coming at me. Oh no, there's players coming at me. Oh, players coming at me. Oh no, I don't know what to do. No. I'm going to pass the ball. And then it goes to another player. That's not what I want. I want a player.
You got some support. People agree with you. And to be fair, I do think you have a point as well. Let's move on quickly, though. We'll come back to this. Charlotte probably will pick this up later on in the show. So just bear with us and bear with her for a moment. Okay. So the next thing, well, it's good that we're talking about this, because the next thing I kind of want to lead us onto is, like, what do you think our Chelsea's biggest issue is at the moment? So is it our lack of goals, not getting enough goals, our strikers not turning up, midfielders not turning up? Is it our defensive frailties, the fact that we've literally got absolutely nobody decent in the back apart from Thiago Silva, who's now injured? Is it individual mistakes, errors? Is it the manager, bad man management? And what do you think it is, and how would you fix it? What would you do if you were the manager or the board? How would you go about fixing the issues that Chelsea have? Yannicka, let's start with you.
I think because obviously Tuchel's quite new, he will have to get to know the players, see who he likes, who he doesn't like, and try and put his style of play onto the players. So it will take a little bit of time. I know in Pep's first season, he was trying to do things with Man City and you could see what he was trying to do, but it wasn't working. So it did kind of take him till the following season to see what he was all about. So I think Tuchel needs a bit of time first. In terms of the players, Ziyech, like you say, he's quite new. Some players tend to play better in their second season. Some come in and hit the ground running. We had Aguero who did that. But we have other players who the second season, Bernardo Silva, he was better in his second season. So you do get players like that. So you'll just have to see if Ziyech is one of them people or whether he's just not good enough. But yeah, I think the manager will have his favourites. He'll have the team that he wants to play. And when he kind of figures that out, I think you'll be more likely to get back on track. But it's quite hard to say what needs to be done right now. Obviously, I don't watch Chelsea every single week, so I don't really know the ins and outs. But yeah, I think you'll have to see, and then Tuchel will choose who he wants in, and he'll bring players in, I'm sure, in the summer, and then get rid of players that he doesn't see working for his system. And then, I don't know, I know your board are quite strong about if he doesn't win, he'll be out. So
who did you get rid of at the moment? So in this current Chelsea squad, who do you think just definitely needs to go if we're going to have any chance of improving? And you can be honest, Jan, because you don't support Chelsea. So just if you have to slander just slander. Just do a Charles. Do a Charles.
I don't even know.
Be horrible. I've got a list. I've got a list if you want to borrow it.
I think I wouldn't rate Kepa, but I think you spent so much money on him. You're going to lose a lot if you sell him. So I don't know whether they will sell him, but Kepa's not good enough for Chelsea. I think, is it Alonso? He's not the best. He only kind of works in a back three, so he probably needs to go. Obviously, you got rid of William. You got rid of what's his face? Luis. So you got rid of some of these players already. I don't know. It will come down to who Tuchel wants. Pulisic, I thought was doing all right for Chelsea previously. So I don't know. I don't know whether he'll go or whether he'll just get back into good form. But I think it depends how much you spend on these players as well. Because if you spend a lot, it's not as easy to kind of kick them out as it is for someone that you get in on a free or you get in cheap or they're a youth player. But yeah, I think Hudson-Odoi is a really good player. So I think he needs to be starting ahead of some of these players that you spent a lot of money on. I'd give Werner a bit longer because he's obviously new as well. So yeah, I think next season you'll kind of know who needs to go. But for now, I'll probably say Alonso, Kepa. I don't know. Zuma's been good in stages, but I don't know if he's good enough for Chelsea. Yeah. I'm not too sure.
He needs like a real. He needs to have somebody like a Thiago Silva next to him. I think that's probably the reason why he's looked better. He's had somebody like Thiago Silva next to him. Yeah, Beth, same question. What do you think Would you think our biggest issue is? Lack of goal scorers, individual players, our defensive frailties, the manager and the board. How would you change it?
Well, yeah, manager and board, I don't think there's a lot you can do about, really. I wouldn't ever see, then people get really emotional when Lampard has gone now, roaming out. I think that's the most complete amount of bullshit I've ever heard. But I think there's a lot of work to do in the squad. I think we could do with at least one solid centre back. Because Thiago Silva can't play every game. He's not got a lot of time left in him. He's not signed an extension yet, has he? They want him for 2 years, I think, but he's not signed anything yet.
They want him to sign an extension, but he hasn't signed yet, no. Let's hope he does. I can't believe.
I think we absolutely need a centre-back. But even then, when you look at right back and left back, we don't really have cover So like the squad in general, kind of like we have a lot of players, but we don't have a lot of players that deserve to start for a team like Chelsea. And that's like the problem. We need to get rid of Kepa, and we need like a good number one, like solid goalkeeper. Although I don't think that Mendy gets helped by like the awful like defensive options that we have. We need to get Tomori back from AC Milan. Absolutely. I've heard they already want to keep him. They cannot keep Tomori.
We should actually send Charlotte. Look at her. Like we should send her.
Can someone just send me to AC Milan? I will bring back Tomori, whether he likes it or not.
Whatever you do, you bring him back, okay? Whatever
I will. And let me tell you.
Drag him
Someone
by his collar.
literally, I don't care what I have to do. I will like put football treats in front of him and just be like, let's go. Like, this is how I'll be like, nah, come on, here. Look, here's some chocolate. I'll buy you food. Like, just get in here. Like, we're going home.
Yeah.
No.
And then
he's
yeah.
coming
So
home.
Lewis
Zuma.
with his Andreas Christensen agenda once again.
Yes.
I think he's speaking facts.
Do you see
though.
that down there? So everyone's arguing about Christensen and Rudiger over who's like better than the other, but everyone knows
Get them both out.
So they both need to go because they're both below Zuma and Silva, like miles behind. So they both need to go. They're both not good enough. We need centre backs. We need like Jimenez or Alaba or something. Jimenez.
You said it yourself.
Yeah.
Silva and Zuma are better.
Chelsea, to be honest. Christensen. Completely forgot.
We need
I
like,
don't even. Who is he? Who's Christensen?
we need a strong midfield presence.
Krusty.
We need
the
like Krusty the Clown. Krusty the Clown Christensen. We need like someone strong, like a strong presence in defence. Like we don't have anyone like really physical, not in defence, in midfield. We don't like have anyone really physical. They're all really like lightweight. And a striker that can play with Werner. I think Werner's going to be insane when he's unlocked, and I think that Tuchel's going to get in there really quickly. But he works better with another striker or someone to play off, and he just doesn't have that at the moment. But I think there's so many areas that need improving, and that's so embarrassing when we've just spent like 220 million. But that's coming off a transfer ban. Like we're stuck with half the players. You can't offload them all. You need experience, and I think the squad's a mess, and I think that's where they need to sort it out. They need to work out what they want, stick with it, and then get rid of everything that doesn't work with it. But they'll have to back the manager for that.
Yeah, I mean, wise words. Joyce, what do you think?
So, like, what we need to fix, basically.
What our weaknesses are, and then how we can fix them, and how we should fix them.
So, I think I won't really talk about the manager because we can't. I don't think we know enough of his weaknesses because he hasn't been long enough. Just as we don't really know all of his strengths because he hasn't been long enough either. So if we just kind of like look at our squad, I feel like our squad is a little bit imbalanced. In the sense that, like, I think we've needed a DM for quite some time now. Like Kante isn't really a lone DM for him to kind of sit, especially the fact that he's been kind of coming in and out of injury. Jorginho is not my preferred, and also he's not, I don't know, he's not the typical DM that I like. Like, I like quite a robust defender who's kind of, you know, he can sweep across the back four like really well. He's like, you know, very... Give me like Makaleli. Give me.
I was literally gonna.
Do you know what I mean? I like a very robust DM, like someone who's a destroyer. That's just me. But obviously, you can have different types. But I feel like we need a good and an intelligent defensive. But if we could have Fernandinho, listen, Jan, I don't know if you can turn back the time, bring him to us instead because he would be incredible. But I think
we don't mind taking City sloppy seconds.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be better than anything we had.
Yeah.
I feel like our squad is a little bit, like I said, like missed. And I don't know, because say like up front, we look at our striking options. We have Giroud who's going to leave, and he's not. I don't think he's amazing. We have Tammy he's okay. He's like. He would play for like a top 10 team and he would do quite well as a main man. But as much as I like him and I like Tammy a lot, I don't know if he will cut it as the main striker here at Chelsea. I'm not sure. He's still got kind of like a lot of work to do. And then we bring in Werner, who isn't really a striker, isn't really a wide forward. So now we're stuck to like try and make him work, which is it's annoying. And then we look at like all the people we spent loads of money on, and the fact that we spent 220 million and we still have like deficiencies in our squad that we need to fix. It's like, it's a bit frustrating. Obviously, there's people that we need to ship out, but then we also need to replace them. Like like Beth was saying, we need like defensive cover and that kind of thing. So there's stuff that we need to work on, but also having a manager that is good at getting the best out of the players that we do have. Because you don't have, our squad isn't shit. Like, it isn't horrible. Like, there's a reason why we're still in and around the top 4, because our squad is good enough to compete. But I do think that, Tuchel can get the best out of the squad in the meantime. But obviously, if we want to compete and we want to go and win trophies and win titles, because that's the level we need to be aiming for. Obviously, we need a manager who will get the best out of our players. And I don't feel like the back 5 actually, or the 3, the 3-4-2-1 or 1-2, depending on how we do it, is the best for all of us personally. But we'll kind of see how he decides to progress. But I think we also do need to like improve our squad if we want to go and win. Like, this squad is not a Champions League winning squad. We're not going to fluke our way into another one.
We might. Maybe. Everybody touch wood.
We might fluke our way into another title. But
Luis Suarez back in his prime Liverpool striking up against
imagine
Christian
Barca, like, they
Cinema.
ship him off and they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
And then he's going and having like the form of his life. Like, that is, I mean, that's their own, innit? But
I can picture him like up against like Marcus Alonso and crying.
oh, don't even. Do you know what, Mark? What are they saying here? Fighting over Christensen in the comments.
Oh my god, this is interesting.
Lewis, it's not 3 o'clock in the morning. AC
Christensen is crazy.
Hive is 3 a.m. only. Please stop it.
So I have a list. I've actually written a list, and I've had this list written for about a month now.
Of course, she has a list.
She has a list. Oh, take it away.
Kepa, Mendy, Christensen, Emerson, Alonso, Pulisic, Ziyech, Kante, and yeah, that's about it. And maybe Jorginho. I'm going to add them all to the list of players I want gone.
Say that again.
Kepa, Mendy, Christensen, Emerson, Alonso, Pulisic, Ziyech, Kante, and Jorginho.
9 players she's named. 9.
and you know why?
The whole first team. She wants them gone.
Both our goalkeepers can go, and let's buy Oblak. I want him. Like, we have never bought a world-class goalkeeper. Never. We made Peter Cech the goalkeeper he was. Like, well, not me, but Chelsea did. So yeah, I think we need to buy. Yeah, Jose Mourinho did, for you Spurs fans dissing him. He made a world-class goalkeeper, just to clarify. I think, we need to buy a world-class goalkeeper. We need some defenders that actually do their job. Does Christensen do his job? No. Does Emerson? No. Does Alonso? Hell no. How can we have a left back that only does well in a back 3? That's not plausible. I want a left back that is capable of actually being able to play in a back 4 and a back 5. Like, we can't do this anymore. Like, Christensen is just making too many mistakes and it's just shit. I'm not even playing that game. Like, it's not even a debate. Christensen is shit. He needs to go. Like, Emerson, I mean, I didn't even notice he was on the pitch again. You notice Christensen was on the pitch because he was tripping over his own shoelaces. Like, he'd forgotten how to tie his shoes. That's how long he hasn't been on the pitch for. And there's a reason. Like, he forgot. He was like, I'm just going to trip over my shoelaces because I forgot how to do my own shoes up. Been too long. Pulisic, time's up. Sorry, hun. Bye. Ziyech, I'm not playing around anymore. Like, I want a team that's dedicated and actually wants to play. Ziyech had a chance to prove. He's had many chances to prove, and he hasn't done that. So, sorry. Pulisic has a season and a half. I don't know what else people want from me. Kante is just getting to the point where he doesn't look at his best anymore. Like, he looks like, to be fair, he's been playing this Chelsea team for the last few seasons, like every game. holding this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been holding this team. I get he's exhausted, but I just think his time's kind of. We need someone like with maybe that comes in with a bit more energy. He just looks exhausted, and I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he just
Someone to
He
share the burden with.
yeah,
He
because he's taking all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's get on to my favourite, Jorginho. Okay, so let's discuss this.
His favourite also.
Yeah. If Jorginho is playing against Man City, against Liverpool, against Man United, how do you think he's going to work? He's going to fail. He's genuinely going to fail. I don't know why all these Jorginho lovers are like, oh, we'll give him a chance. I don't want to give him a chance. Can you imagine if we give him a chance and we just give City, like with our defence and Jorginho, we might as well just hand City a win.
He's given him 2 years of a chance.
Another 6-0.
We don't have a chance. Do you know what?
Right?
He just holds the ball up, and it's not going to take long for a City player, a United player, or a Liverpool or Leicester player to take the ball off him, and it's like the other end, and we're like, shit, what just happened? Like the quick turnovers. And I think that's a worry. Like, because Jorginho, he's not a one-touch attacking footballer. He's not. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, but his style is not suited for us anymore. Like, our defence is appalling. The only good defensive players we have right now are Reece James, a man still learning, and Thiago Silva. Like, they're the most reliable people.
So, Reece James is not so great defensively. Like, he's made a couple as well. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. We're relying on
forward, but defensively, he makes some terrible mistakes. I mean, did you see Reece James against Arsenal? Absolutely abysmal.
He was injured.
But we're relying on a 21-year-old and
Lampard's
a 30-something-year-old. Like, Reece James can't, like, we can't have excuses made for Reece James. Yes, when it comes to crossing balls and getting the ball in the back of the net for a goal, he has some incredible talent. He has great eyes for seeing space as well. I'll give him that. He really does. But can you sit there and tell me that our defence actually, apart from Thiago Silva, who's the most reliable, can you shut up, please? Sorry.
He agrees. He agrees.
Yeah, he literally does. But apart from that, like Silva, like who else have we got that's reliable? That someone tell me who we can rely on every single game that will turn up like Thiago Silva does every single game. We don't. We don't have anybody. We don't.
Even
So
Thiago hasn't been good every single game.
He's still turned up and given 100%. Has everyone else? No. Let's not forget that. Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva's so like consistently good, and he's saved us so many times, and he's prevented so many errors. We can forgive the 2 pretty horrible mistakes that he has made.
Yeah.
And we can forgive that because of everything else he contributes and puts into this team. It's just kind of obviously that mistake against West Brom was horrible by his stats. And then I think he also made another mistake as well. I'm not really too sure.
But if you look at it, if you look at statistic-wise, if you look at Rudiger's statistics, how reliable is he? When Rudiger is named in a starting 11, you're like, yeah, this is going to be a great game. No, I'm like, which Rudiger's going to turn up? That's my problem. When Christensen plays, oh, this is going to be shit. And there isn't even a good Christensen. There's an average Christensen and a really bad Christensen. There's not anything else. And then you've got Emerson. It's just bad or shit. I don't know which one gets worse. Reece James, I'm like, please have a good game. Let's do this. Like, I know he's got a lot to learn. He's still a youngster. I'll give him that. Like, he has had a lot of pressure jumped on him because our defense is so shit. Even Zuma, like, yes, Zuma and Thiago Silva are our best partnership at the minute, but like, Zuma on his own, Zuma without Silva is not good. Fact. Zuma doesn't show me anything. When he has Silva by his side, they are actually great. But the problem is that Silva has no one to back him up. And when Zuma's without Silva, he just looks weak. Reece James looks better with Silva in there. Silva seems to kind of help with the maturity and the experience there. But our midfield and defence are in shambles. Let's not even go up to our front three. That front three gets me so like, I'm ready for Ziyech to go. I'm ready for Pulisic to go. Like, Abraham needs more. I think personally, and I'm very controversial, Abraham is not a bad player. I'm not saying that, but I think he needs another loan spell with maybe a bigger team than what he was. Like, going away to...
Seriously.
Yeah, I genuinely think he needs another
There's
loan
no
now
way
because
he's going on loan.
A second striker.
or a second striker, but we can't have him as our first striker. And I'm not saying
Striker, in my opinion.
I'm
His
not
whole
saying he's not a bad player.
Bad. His
He
whole
just-
play is terrible. With his height, yeah, and his presence, and he's a natural striker. So what? All of these crosses that we keep lumping into the box, and hardly any of them find him. Why? And when the ball gets into the box, he'll never get it because he gets muscled off the ball. He never ever wins the ball. He never ever wins the first ball. Whereas Giroud does. He does, and he can hold
exactly.
it and get off to a winger or another striker, and he does. And even though he doesn't score sometimes, Giroud, he sets up a goal, and he's involved in that because he's strong.
He doesn't. Giroud.
And I'm not taking away. Yeah, but I'm not taking away the fact that Abraham. I'm not taking away that Abraham has got 12 goals, 13 actually, but okay. But I'm not taking that away. I'm not taking away that, but I feel like he needs more experience. He's been chucked in at the deep end, and yes, last season that was perfect. But when we have the opportunity, like the problem I have is there's certain things that I think he needs to learn more of. He's calling for the ball, running, then slowing down. You need more experience. Like, you can't be like calling for the ball and then mix messaging the shit out of it. That's not how it works. He needs more experience because he has only had one season on loan. We have to remember that. He only had a season on loan before, like, he got in, like, a season on loan in the Premier League. One season he's had, and then he was chucked into the deep end. I think he needs more experience. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying for the time being, he shouldn't be our first striker. And I think he needs more experience. I don't think Timo Werner's any better. So I'm questioning whether we need a striker. But what my question is that...
So I have to wholeheartedly disagree with you on that one.
What?
I mean, no, Timo doesn't score goals, but his movement and his play off the ball is amazing. It is world class. And he is...
I'm not saying that.
Shoulders. He is much better than Giroud and Tammy Abraham.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I think we need someone who's going to get the goals. So if Werner's going to be that guy that assists and make those passes to make that, and that's cool. That's cool. But I mean, we need someone who's going to get it in the back of the net. Giroud's getting on a bit. We have to accept that. Like, Giroud is getting on. However good he is, Giroud is getting on.
Good.
He is. He's 30 something.
No, I'm not saying he's not going on. I just think he's not that great.
Just to touch back on this point about, yes, Tammy Abraham has been our top scorer, but Martial was one of the top scorers for Manchester United last season. Does that mean he's good? No, he's not. He's terrible. It's just everybody else is doing the job to put it on the plate for him as a striker that he really shouldn't be missing. You can't be missing. If Tammy Abraham misses that tap-in yesterday, oh my God, they'll be outraged. Because he can't be missing that. Can you guys truly sit here and say to me as Chelsea fans and even people in the chat, because I want to hear what you guys have to say as well, is there a goal that Tammy Abraham has scored for Chelsea that you think, oh my God, class? No.
He does. This is the thing. Like, I feel like you...
I'm going to agree with you.
Very harsh on Tammy. Like, no, but guys, deeper, yeah? If you look at all of the strikers that we have had for Chelsea, and Chelsea have had so many bums or so many people who have come and underperformed, the people who have come and just been absolutely shit, absolutely shocking for Chelsea, right? But Tammy is not a world beater. We're not going to pretend and be like he's the best striker in the league or the best that we've ever seen. But Tammy has mostly stepped up. Tammy scored 19 goals last season, doesn't take pens. Most strikers do take pens, and then that adds to their goal time. It could be even more. It could be 25.
Yeah, but Tammy got these goals. Tammy got these goals when we needed him the most. because we couldn't buy anybody. He's not. He was there when we needed him, and I respect that. He was absolutely there when we needed him the most, when we didn't have a transfer window.
Right, but we've paid
when he
so much
dries
more
up,
money for
Lampard
other
is
strikers, and they've been so
But
much
when he dried up,
worse.
when he dried
I
up,
think people
at the back end of last season, he started playing Giroud for a reason, because he could see what we could all see. He was using Tammy because we had no other choice.
But
But
we did have a choice. Lampard just didn't choose to play him.
no, it's because he's not good enough. That's why he dropped him.
He dropped him because it was in poor form, and he deserved to be dropped. That's fine. But what I'm saying is,
He
if you
still
look at the
deserves
history,
to be dropped.
if you look
He's
at
not-
the history of strikers that we've had at Chelsea, there is so much vim towards Tammy. When he, for a long time, he's the only person who has even come close to a 20-goal season, or even close
I
to being somewhat
actually
consistent as a
completely
striker.
agree. I
I'm not
agree
sa-
with you.
like he's not world class. We know he's not world class, but I just feel like put some respect on his. Like, he's actually a big man to be going on loan. If you want him to go, he goes. He leaves. Someone pays 40 million and he goes to another club. You persist with him, maybe. I don't know if we should. That's a whole other discussion. But to say that, Tammy has been bad, or to say that Tammy's, underperformed massively. People have come to Chelsea and done
Compared
so
to
much.
Chelsea Football Club and our standards, we're sitting here slating Pulisic and Ziyech because they're not good.
Because Pulisic and Ziyech have done nothing. Tammy scored 12 goals this season.
Just because he scored 12 goals.
His job is to
No.
literally score
Okay,
goals.
I'll accept that he scored 12 goals. Okay, tell me how many more he's missed. Because I can tell you it's more than he scored.
All
And then
No.
how
I get no.
You're saying that Van is our best striker and he's missed more than anyone.
I've called him out for that. Let's just not say that. I have called Werner out for the fact that he hasn't scored any goals this season. Secondly, Tammy has missed more than he's actually got. The man misses the ball. It's Bambi on ice. I can't deal with this. Like, Jim's right. Like, tell me this then, okay? If you think he's that good, okay, if his contract runs out the end of this season, how long are you giving him, or are you even giving him one? Because I'm not giving him a new one.
I'm not giving.
I'm asking second choice.
She's not saying that he's a world-class striker. She's not saying that he's going to be our Didier Drogba. What she's saying is he's underappreciated and that he does a decent job. And he does do a decent job. And I don't think that he's ever going to be a great striker for us. I do think he needs to be in a different team. But I just think that
this is exactly my point.
really unjustified.
We just want him gone. We think he's going to be better and successful in another team.
In another
That's
club,
my point.
but just because
That's our point.
standards we have, he's just never going to be good enough.
I'm not saying he's not a good player, but at Chelsea, he doesn't, because of the standards we have. And that's a fact. We have such high standards at Chelsea that he is not good enough. But at Aston Villa, look at him at Aston Villa. He thrived. He absolutely thrived. Look at Ross Barkley now, thriving. He needs to go.
He was under a better manager.
No, it's not that. There are some players that don't do big clubs.
Who's the better manager?
I'm saying that Ross Barkley was performing. He was getting more consistent chances and consistent time to play under a better manager. Dean Smith has outperformed Frank Lampard as a manager. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
So it's Dean Smith's better than Tuchel right now, because my manager is not Lampard. My manager is Tuchel. I don't even know who Lampard is
Okay, but
anymore.
all the performances that we're talking about with Tammy Abraham, for the most part, have been under Lampard. So who else am I meant to be comparing?
I mean, I don't think that's fair. To be fair, I think Lampard is.
Jan, please weigh in, please. Please.
You know what?
These girls, they're crazy. None of these are Aguero.
Yeah, literally,
You know what?
That's something we can all agree on.
All this Tammy talk.
Yeah, we can all agree on something though. That's great. We can all agree on something now.
You know what? I think when I watch Tammy, he looks good. And I think, to be honest, to score goals, even if you're scoring a tap in, you do, as a striker, you do have to do the work to get in the right position. A lot of it is intelligence, to be in the right place at the right time. They say that for Sterling a lot, because Sterling makes the right runs or is in the right place at the right time to get the tap ins that he gets or whatever. So yeah, I think he's all right. He's decent. But I don't know. I don't really watch Chelsea too much. So you watch them more than me to know whether you want him or you don't think he's good enough or whatever. Because I know sometimes there's players that they're good, but then when you watch them week in, week out,
would you take him at City?
He'd get a lot of goals at City, to be honest, because De Bruyne just puts it on a plate. So he literally would be able to just put the ball in the net. Because I know Gabby gets a lot of sticks for not scoring enough.
We found an alternative. Let's send him out on loan to City. They need a striker now anyway. So
Yeah,
Looks funny.
okay, so I know we got a bit off track. So just to kind of summarize, let's preview. We're just going to preview 2 games over this weekend. So obviously there's a big game with Spurs and Manchester City. So yeah, we'll definitely be getting Yannika's views on that. And then obviously our game against Newcastle on Monday. But let's start with Spurs and City. So obviously this is a big game. City on fire at the moment, on a roll. How do you think you guys are going to line up? Predicted lineup, score prediction. Do you think Spurs have any chance at all, Jan? And then we go to Beth, so everyone else, and then we'll finish off with our game.
in terms of lineup, you never know with Pep. I think Diaz might be back because he was out midweek. So I think he might be back. So if he is, it'll be Diaz, Stones. Them two are kind of undroppable. Cancelo, same thing. I think he'll play Zinchenko on the left because obviously he gets back. He might go with a Laporte as left back. Who knows? In the midfield, you can't take Gundogan out. Rodri, I think, might be back, so Rodri will go back in. And then it will probably be Bernardo Silva, sort of in the midfield. And then up front, it will probably, I don't know, he'll either go with a false 9, which could be either Foden, Torres,
Or Jesus.
yeah, or he'll go with Jesus. I don't know. Jesus, I think, has got 3 in his last 3 starts, so it makes sense to play him. But I don't know if he'll go with a false 9 and play kind of how we played against Chelsea, because that seemed to work, and the false 9 has been working, especially against Spurs, because I think he's going to set up a little bit careful to not kind of end up doing what we did last time, which was we attack. We don't score, and then they catch us on the counter and score 2 goals. So he'll be a little bit careful to not kind of go all guns blazing against Spurs. I can see Spurs being very, very defensive because they conceded 5 to Everton. So they're not going to want to concede. So I think they will go very defensive. So I think it'll be a close game. I think City should edge it. We're at home. Even though Spurs have got an okay record against us, we kind of, through our history, we've gone through periods where they can't beat us, and then they have periods where we just can't beat them. And I think they've got the better of us the last couple of times that we played. So, yeah, I think it'll be a close game.
VAR was the thing that got them to that semi-final.
Yeah,
it was VAR.
exactly,
We know it.
So, yeah, with VAR, you just don't know. But I think City, the run that we're on, I think we're a lot more clinical than we were the last time we played them. We're a lot better defensively than we were last time we played them. So I'd expect it to be a tight game. Son loves a goal against Man City. So I think Son will get his goal. So, yeah, I think 2-1 City. I think it'll be quite close. I hope not. I hope we just go and blow them away because they're due a beating from us, but it's just not been that way. I'd say because we're at home and the run we're on and the run they're on, I would expect City to win. So hopefully we win.
Personally, I think you're going to roll them over. Like when I was just hearing you just listing those players, I was like, damn. Oh, like Joy Shaw, like what we wouldn't give to have like those quality caliber of players available at our disposal. Because now when we're sitting here thinking, okay, who do we bring in? At least we have a ton of options. We're here like looking at what we have, like crying our eyes out. Because we're like, oh God, this is what we have to work with.
I will say though, Jose likes to set up for the big games for a draw, doesn't he? So I do think if someone's going to hold off City at this point, it could well be them. but I would hope not. I think City have got that momentum now.
What do you think the score will be? Predictions?
I think it's gonna be tight.
1-0, but I don't know which way.
Ooh, Beth is being controversial. Joyce, what do you think?
I'm not sure because, like Jan said, like Spurs have actually gotten the better of City the last three games. I think they drew. It was like there was a 2-2, 2-0, and then I think 2-2-0s actually. I don't know, but they've had like really good form against you guys. Not that they've played well, but they've just been lucky, like kind of nicking goals. But I think Spurs has been in such bad form and City have been in such good form that it would be crazy for it to go any way other than a City win. But I don't think it will be like a massive rollover. I think, now that they have Kane back, they have a lot more confidence, coming off the win on the weekend and that kind of thing. Obviously, they lost against Everton. And I think Jose will use that as a reason to be like, oh, you guys wanted us to do free-flowing, pretty football. And this is what happened. So we're going back to being very defensive and very, holding back and then just trying to nick a goal with Son and Kane like on the counter. So 2-1 City, I think. Yeah, that's what I think it'll be.
Fossil football back in full effect. Charles, score predictions for Spurs and City. And how do you think the game's going to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's Spurs. I don't expect anything less. They only have Kane and Son. That's your only worry. I'm going to be generous, like I was, I think, 3-2. I'm only saying 2 goals to Spurs because of Kane and Son. Not any other player in that team deserves any recognition but Kane and Son for the 2 goals. Only because when Kane and Son go, like, you got to beware. Like, you have to have eyes in the back of your head. You're like, shh, let them gone. Oh, I better start running. Like City need to be careful with that. That's like the only major concern they have. Like, Spurs, we've
fallen back. Their players coming back from injury now as well. So, oof.
Literally, like, City are on point. Like, the only thing they've got to worry about is genuinely Kane and Son, because Kane and Son has the best partnership in the Premier League at the minute. Like, that's the only concern they have. But the only problem is they don't have players around them that are decent. So it's just Kane and Son doing all the work. So they're the only players you actually have to worry about. But yeah, no, I think 3-2. I'm only being generous because I think Son and Kane will get a goal each, and that's about it. But I think City will dominate. And I think Son and Kane will get their chance and they'll take it. But I don't think it'll be a Spurs-dominated match. I think City will absolutely dominate them. But I think when Spurs get the chance, because all it has to take is for one City defender to be like, shit, there's Spurs and there's Kane and Son, and it's done. Like, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because like I think every team that sees Kane and Son doesn't like it. Who doesn't? They're very talented players. I would have them at my club. But I think any team would have them, both of them, at their club. But yeah, I think they're your only worry. I think City will dominate. Otherwise, I'd like to see Gundogan get a goal. Absolutely, because he's been absolutely dominant. I'd even like to see Kyle Walker get another goal. Maybe make it 2
against his old club. Oh, beautiful scene. Yeah. What's your score prediction then?
3-2 to City.
I'm gonna go 3-1 City. To be fair, I feel like Spurs may get a consolation goal through a counter attack, and it could be either Son or Kane, one of them, and then the other one will probably provide the assist. But either way, I just think City they have too much for them, too much for them, and it'll be pure domination. Okay, final game. We're going to quickly preview, and that's us against Newcastle on Monday.
Do we have to talk about this?
It'll be really quick. It's the last thing we're going to do before we can go, guys. So, Yannicka, what do you think?
I think you'll beat Newcastle. They've got their main striker. Is it Willett? No, not Willett. They've won. Callum
Wilson.
Yeah, he's out. So yeah, you'd have to worry about Willett. They've won. But yeah, I think you've got too much for Newcastle. I think it'll be 3-1 Chelsea. I think it'll be in.
Right. I hope you're right, Yannicka. I hope you're right. Beth, preview and score predictions. How are you feeling?
I'm just again worried about our strike force, but I reckon Werner's going to start again, and he looked so bright against who did we play on the weekend? Was it Burnley?
Sheffield.
Right, Sheffield, right. He looked really bright against Sheffield. I think he's going to start. I feel like he can make things happen, even though the rest of our forwards aren't really doing much right now. I think we should beat Newcastle. I don't think it'll be by a heavy scoreline or anything. I think it'll be 1-0 or 2-0 maybe. But we haven't conceded anything apart from that Rudiger goal. So I'm not too concerned right now. That Barnsley game, I think, is just a bit of a throwaway. I think we always have kind of games like that at some point, and it is what it is. So yeah, 1 or 2-0.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that too. Joyce, what do you think?
I think we are going to go back to a similar lineup that we had last weekend. So Hudson-Odoi is going to be wing back. We're going to have Jorginho and Jorginho and Kovacic come back. I think Mount will come back. I know we didn't talk about Mason Mount. I know you guys don't really like Mason Mount, but I feel like he's proved himself.
I'm okay with him, honestly. I'm okay with him.
It didn't sound like that, you know.
David doesn't like him. I just didn't like the way Lampard was just constantly overplaying him, and how everyone was saying he's this elite player when he had about 10 chances in the game and only put away one of them.
Okay,
so he's getting there, and I think Tuchel is starting to unlock it out of him, and literally come the start of next season he'll be a regular starter. But I just think the way Frank Lampard was managing him was just annoying me, quite frankly. But I like Mason Mount. Yeah.
Okay. Lambs, I'm gonna have to go now.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry, guys.
Oh,
I'll see you later.
Oh wait, Charlotte. Oh, okay, she's gone.
I actually need to go as well in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say Mason Mount will come back in the side. I feel like we really missed his energy last game as well. I think it's going to be a 2-0 win. I think defensively we've been really good. They've lost their main striker. St. Maxim might be someone to worry about, but we can lock him down hopefully. So yeah, 2-0 win for us, I think.
Yeah, and I am going to go for a 2-1 win for us. Still not completely convinced with our defense as well. So very, very, very quickly, Yannicka, tell everybody where they can find you quickly.
Yeah, I'm mainly on Sarcasm City, so go and subscribe to them. But yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll find out where I'm at. It's at Yan City, which is below over here. Yeah, so follow me on there.
Amazing. And yeah, you can also catch Yannicka on the Football Terrace, First 11 on hosting the Offside Rule, fantastic show as well. Beth, tell everybody where they can find you.
Find me on Twitter at KingKaiFC and also on Instagram at _BethDXC. I'm actually straight on to the Football Terrace now. After this, we're doing Pep versus Jose, the big debate. So
you're back in.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait and see.
Okay, suspense.
Go watch.
And so tune into the Football Terrace. I think Charles also jumping on that as well. So that's why Beth.
Thank you.
Enjoy this very, very quickly. Tell everybody where they can.
So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse. On here, I always point at the wrong side. Here we go. I'm at ELJoyce_. You find me here, GNA TV, usually at 8 p.m. on a Friday. And I'll be on Gold Diggers on Sunday at 8 p.m, I believe. So go and check that out.
Amazing. Yes. And don't forget to subscribe to all of these channels, Sarcasm City, Gold Diggers.
I'm also on the First 11. Offside Rule.
The First 11, the Offside Rule, which Jan hosts on the First 11. So all of these channels, make sure you go and subscribe to them all. Thank you guys so much. And we are out.
It's like it's playtime and it's free time. In the dance, they have to take a glance, we stepping out the